You don't know what's out there.
That's why I would go.
Hi, and welcome back to Wild Dream, where we give you the freshest takes on the latest movies. My name is David.
Ho, 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 ho. And my name is Daniel. I'm not Santa. Got your ass.
Merry holidays. Multiple.
That's right. We're here for a special Christmas episode.
This is literally Christmas episode.
Literally.
Yes, this is our Christmas special. And we do celebrate Christmas over here at Wild Dream, so
Yeah.
it is a Christmas special. But if you celebrate any other holiday, that's totally fine. I mean, we're actually not upset about that at all.
Believe it or not.
Insane that you could be. Sorry. Well, I will move on. This is not a political podcast.
It's not, but you know what, Christmas
But if
is-
it were, it would go a little something.
Just start reading a manifesto. No, the
Listen, guys, I would make Good Trouble look like a centrist if I went on for mine.
the whole thing is, you know, Christmas is at the end of the year, so we're feeling very reflective of this year, and yeah, politically, you know, it's been a little rough this year with all this bullshit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, I need to make that yearly clarification that, by the way, I fucking hate this guy. I want to make that very clear.
Yeah.
So happy holidays to you guys.
Unless they start rounding them up, in which case I've always loved them. I've been a big supporter.
I mean, if they start rounding them up, I mean, if you need a stand-in, you heard the impression.
That is true. With AI, you know, animations, why don't we just elect AI as the next president? ChatGPT next president.
Next president should be ChatGPT.
That wouldn't go badly at all.
No, because you know who he would lose to? Gronk.
Yeah.
He would lose to
Yeah, he would lose to Gronk.
Gronk would take over.
Gronk. I'm saying Gronk like Gronkowski. That's my bad. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, it's our fucking podcast. No one listens to this shit anyway. We can say whatever we want. Fuck that guy. Fuck most politicians ever.
True. Except Gronk. We love Gronk. We love Gronk.
And let's shame people more for using AI.
Yes.
If you have a coworker
That's
who
what he was
uses
looking
AI to like this is a, you know, your permission from your favorite podcasters to say this podcast in no part uses AI. We even had an AI mock-up logo for a while that we got rid of, and we're ashamed of that. As we should be. And if you use AI, you should also be ashamed of yourself.
Every day we get more and more information, and we get more
Educated.
And so it's time to be right, man.
Right.
It's time to be good. It's time to be good people and do the right thing. And that's what the holidays are all about.
And that brings us into the movie that we saw today.
Yes.
Which was
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Silent Night, Deadly Night. This movie, as you guys know, we usually try and find a Christmas-themed movie to do for these Christmas specials. And it just seems like every year there's a movie about violence plus Christmas for the last couple of years.
We all remember the fake news controversy of Violent Night. There were many allegations said on Twitter to me during that time.
A fucking idiot.
So, and we'll throw that down the toilet, just like that
Violent Night.
movie should be thrown down because that one sucked. And then, of course, we remember speaking of controversy, we remember us trying to do Silent Night.
Silent Night. Yeah.
When
Just Silent Night.
Didn't get to watch the movie because a man tried to fist fight us in the theater. Go back and listen. So we try. We were doing what we can. We try and have our Christmas episode. This was teed up right for us. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because the trailer for this movie was like, this leans more towards like a Love Hurts type of movie. Like that's what I was thinking going into it.
Yeah.
Where like when Love Hurts came out, it was just a really, really shitty, god awful, you know, movie that was just very quickly thrown together so they could have a movie for Valentine's Day to come out.
Yeah.
And that was the only purpose of it. And then
Go back and listen to that one too.
and around the same time as that, there was a movie called Hard Eyes that was coming out. And that was the choice that we made. We went to go see Love Hurts instead of Hard Eyes. And then everything I've seen from Hard Eyes, I'm like, oh, Hard Eyes is just as just straight, holiday slop as Love Hurts was. So that's what I was thinking about this movie going into it. The trailer kind of poised it that way. But we were excited nevertheless, because we were like, hey, this is what we do for Christmas movies. We watch a shitty, unnecessarily violent Christmas movie, or we try to. And an interesting point about that you brought up when that guy tried to fight us because we were talking and laughing in the theater. I told Dan this. I said, when I think about that experience or that encounter, there are times where I'm like, were we being assholes? Like, are we like, obviously not that guy has any right to do that, and if we were 2% crazier, we'd both be in prison, he would be dead. So, it's like, don't do that. Don't start, fights with people or controversy or whatever. It can be a scary and dangerous thing to do. And he's a psycho for doing that and a bad person. But, sometimes I mean, well, maybe we were talking pretty loud and maybe we were, getting on people's nerves. I don't know. It's not like people clapped when we walked out of the theater. They were all so glad that we left. But this experience today, I am fully vindicated that no, we were not assholes. That guy is a fucking psycho freak.
Yep.
And he needs to be removed from society entirely. Because we go to see this movie, very similar vibe. This is a dumb, cheesy, slasher Christmas themed movie. And every single person in the theater was completely on board with what we were watching and the expectations for this viewing.
Oh, yeah.
It was not a serious, everyone sit down, shut up movie. This was, everyone was laughing and pointing stuff out and talking and like, it was in pace and on beat with everything that we were talking about and laughing about. Mm-hmm. So this was a fantastic audience.
Awesome crowd experience.
Now, here's some,
and by the way, I was really shocked how many people were there.
That is true.
I was like, look how many people, man, we got to start carrying business cards, hand them out to all these people at all these showings.
We gotta
design
them and we'll print them.
All right. Hey, this isn't we're not doing the New Year's episode yet, obviously.
Right.
But
if we did, that's going to be a little something.
But that's such a good bit always. But that's going to be one of my resolutions. We got to start really being more vocal and promoting with the podcast.
And you know what? We'll make them available for you guys to purchase.
Yeah,
and
so you can
hand them out too.
Little street team.
Another note though on the movie experience, they must have had the B squad, C team even running this theater because not only did they completely fuck up in the fact that they played the Silent Hill trailer twice. And the second time they played it was after the Nicole Kidman AMC intro, which is like, that's when the movie's supposed to start. They played the Silent Hill trailer twice. And then the movie starts and it's the loudest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
It was insane.
Insanely loud for the opening, like companies, logos and stuff.
Yeah.
And then everything in the opening scene that was super loud, like the gunshots and whatever, it was just crazy loud.
Yeah. So speaking of the crowd, sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you.
No, you're fine because we're still on the experience.
Yeah, to guide them along. We knew we were in good hands with this crowd because they start playing. Yeah, they do the Nicole Kidman thing. We're a bunch of theater lovers here, right?
Everyone's laughing when they start playing the Silent Hill trailer.
They start playing the Silent Hill trailer. Everyone starts dying laughing. So we're all okay. Yeah, we're all on the same page. But then, like you said, then they do the company logo for this movie, and it's all Christmas themed, and it is loud, like jarringly loud, scary loud, and they play the little animation for it, and then you hear someone in the back go, well, that was a lot of volume.
Yeah.
And everyone starts laughing. And it's like, dude, we're all just like, what the fuck?
No one's pretending that didn't just happen.
Exactly. It was great.
It was great. So, I mean, that goes into, our feelings about this movie. We had a great experience. We had low expectations going into it.
Yeah. There is this so bad it's good. And then there's a so bad it's bad. And I thought that this was going to be a so bad it's bad, a Love Hurts-esque type experience.
Right.
But it actually ended up being neither, kind of.
And you know what? The trailer didn't really do it service. And I think that the trailer should have been recut in a better way. Although at the same time, if you made it seem like this movie was completely serious, then that would also be bad. Yeah. Because I do think that there are some intentional comedic elements of this movie. But yeah, the trailer, like we said, made it seem Love Hurts-esque. But I remember seeing that trailer and then turning to Dan and smiling, and he said no, and I said and he was like, would not happen, and I said it is though. And then of course here we are. With all of that said, okay, for all intents and purposes, and for all intensive purposes as well, this was not a bad movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go as far to say it was a good movie. It's not a great movie. It's not a pretty good movie. It's not a really good movie, but I think it is a good movie. And it's a very interesting movie in the fact that I think that so many things were done really well, including I believe the story, which you guys know I say on this podcast all the time. Like, if the foundation of every movie is the script, it is the story. If your story is good, you can get away with a lot and still have a great movie because the story is good. I actually thought the story of this one was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, better than other movies produced by these same people who did like Terrifier and stuff like that, where there's literally no plot whatsoever. So the story was pretty good, and they did a lot really well. However, it is also worth noting that they did some stuff really bad and like unforgivably bad. Not and so bad that we laugh at it, but also just so bad that it's like that you have to
get rid of this.
You have to not do this.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, oh, you guys should have done this movie completely serious and like anything that was comedic or that we were laughing at because it was bad, like it needs to be removed. And this needs to be a completely serious horror movie. That's not what I'm saying. But and we'll get to more specifics in spoiler talk. But they were things that they did in this movie that were so bad. I'm talking like Disney Channel levels of bad filmmaking. Yeah,
it's just filmmaking principles. Yeah, it's not like you said. I'm not saying the tone was wrong. They did. That was actually one of the things they did great was their tone and the consistency of not taking themselves too seriously, but serious enough to care. So yeah.
So yeah, getting into it, it is a movie that I did not recognize any actor or actress in the entire movie, despite the fact that I felt like everyone had a pretty good performance and some of them were really good. You don't typically expect that from a movie like this, but the acting was really good. And there's one character in the movie who she does the I'm not like other girls shtick, and when she was doing that, I didn't like it, and I couldn't really tell if it was just bad acting or I just hate people like that. Or I just don't like that vibe, and so I didn't like her.
I'd be willing to bet it's the latter.
Yeah, and probably.
Because the guy does the I'm not like other guys thing, and you didn't have a problem with it.
Well, there you go.
So I just thought, I think you're tired of that archetype. And you're watching Stranger Things, and you hate that character who does that, so it's on the tip top of your mind now that you're just like sensitive to it.
So true.
So it is what it is, man.
But that's a very minor complaint. I think that she did a really good job. In fact, she has one of the best scenes in the movie, best performances in a scene in the whole movie, which is really just a testament to the directing as well. That, like I said, I don't know any of it's, there's nobody you would know. Like we couldn't get J.K. Simmons in the movie.
I was thinking, I thought the same thing, bro.
And he was great.
Have you ever thought that? I don't know if anyone's ever thought, as a listener has thought this, but it's just now dawning on me. But me and you are kind of alike in a lot of ways. I wonder what that is.
Yeah,
Anyways.
that's weird. Let us know in the comments if you've noticed any of that me and Dan are somewhat alike at times.
Yeah, and if you have any theories as to why that is, please let us know. I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, dude, this is we couldn't get J.K. Simmons' character. That's so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was good too. It is funny that all these kind of like ancillary characters and stuff were cast really well and directed really well. Even these like small one-offs. There was even some stuff in a montage that I was like, even some of the stuff in the montage that you barely get to see was perfect. So yeah, I was very impressed, and my whole experience of this movie was pleasantly surprised. That's the best phrase I could use. I was pleasantly surprised by everything. Like, again, Dave is not lying that a month ago we saw this trailer or whatever, and he leaned over to me like with the cheekiest grin, just like, we're doing that for the Christmas. I was like, no. And like to even pull the curtain back a little bit, it was going to be this or the new Knives Out.
Yeah.
So as we're getting closer and closer, Dave's like, so Silent Night, Deadly Night, right? And I'm like, nah, I think we're going to do Knives Out. And he's just like, I mean, look, whatever you want to do, we'll do. I'm not going to fight you on this, but Silent Night, Deadly Night is a Christmas movie and it's a Christmas special. And then I saw that the new Knives Out is 2.5 hours long. And I was like, man, fuck it. All right, you win. And so it's really, really.
And you won too.
And I won too. I was so pleasantly surprised by this.
I told Taylor on my drive home, I said, it was a good movie and it was a fun movie. And I think that those two things can be separate thoughts and ideas. You know, we've had movies that were fun but weren't good. And we've had movies that were good but not fun. You know, we've seen a lot of movies that are not fun to watch. So yeah, it was just a really good experience overall. And I think that the movie did a really good job of balancing the moments that were supposed to be comedic and the moments that were supposed to be serious. And I think that they really understood their characters really well too. And that helps with, their performance. And like I said, I think that the story is I have never seen anyone do this. Like when they did Thanksgiving, which is a movie about people being killed during Thanksgiving, it was a good and fun movie. And it was like, okay, I haven't seen someone actually try on a Thanksgiving horror movie, but the plot of that movie is something I have seen before. So like the plot of that movie is okay. Yeah. A serial killer killing people, as a revenge plot because something bad happened. I mean, that's literally what the first Friday the 13th movie is about.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it is a very standard slasher plot.
Very standard.
Yeah.
But this one, I've never seen this be the motif of a slasher movie. And they did it really well. And I want to talk more about it, but I do feel like a lot of it's going to be spoiler.
Yeah. Well,
and I do want y'all to go see this while it's in theaters for Christmas.
Yeah, especially because I would like to see a sequel to this. It's like perfectly campy enough that you got to do more of these.
Yeah,
and I want them to have a better budget for the second one. I mean, there's only 3 show times a day for this movie. Yeah. It was kind of hard.
They put us next
schedule.
to the bathroom.
Yeah, they put us in the corner of the theater. But again, there was a lot of people in our theater. So I was like, okay, that gives me hope that, that this will do well enough to...
Which we say this all the time. Horror movie fans will watch every single horror movie.
That's true, man, yeah.
And even though the only horror element of this movie is violence and gore. There's some suspense here and there, but there's no jump scares or,
our audio... the audio in our theater was inherently a jump scare, but I don't think the things that were supposed to be.
So yeah, I mean that's definitely a complaint. Is for sure the audio needed work for this movie. It needed to be leveled better, because the loud parts are unbearably loud, and then the talking parts are just kind of normal. And I was like, so it is a combination of like they need to fix this shit upstairs and realize how unbelievably loud these moments are, but also this movie should have been edited better. There was a lot. I think that the editing was not good, and I know that because I noticed that the editing was not good. It's like with editing, the rule is if you do everything right, no one will be sure you did anything at all. Like that's the golden rule of editing. And the audio is kind of part of that. Not always the same person who does it, but it's part of that process.
Sure, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, the movie has some really stupid stuff in it. It has some really basic exposition dumping. It has some very, very, very bad title cards, which we'll get to. It has some voiceover and, some cliches that come with that.
It has royalty-free ass music.
The whole, all of the music and the sounds too. Like the
sounds were funny.
The sounds were funny because it was very much like you Googled royalty-free horror sound, and then you get the saw when people play a saw.
It sounded like a Kitchen Nightmares episode.
Right. And like they only had like 3 of them, so they just played them over and over again. So yeah, I mean, from that perspective, like those things were laughably bad.
Yeah,
and some of
but again, some of that is probably budgetary constraints.
Yeah,
so it's pretty forgivable. Some of it.
I will say, one of the complaints I do have is I wish they would have went further with the gore, because at times they do a really, really good gore. When I see producers of Terrifier, I'm expecting the best gore you get that money can buy. And there are moments of really good gore in this movie. It's just I wish they did a lot more of it and went way further with it.
Yeah, it's sparse. It is sparse in the movie. And to kind of like, it's not the exact same point, but in the same exact realm, like just the variety of kills. It's very one note in this movie, unfortunately. Like even when it's not one note, it is still one note. It's all one note in the fact that it's, even when it's not like the exact same as the last kill or whatever, it's still in the same vein. It's still a lot of stabbing and knife and or axe horror. Like
there's not a lot of variety of weaponry. Yeah. And there's not a lot of variety of kill moves, and stuff like that. And some of the gore looked really, really good. Some of it looked really, really bad and cheesy and whatever. There was also a point in the movie where an axe is like a big part of this movie. An axe gets used quite a bit. And there was a part in the movie where you can see the rubber handle of the axe like bending because the person wielding it is pushing too hard. So you see the bend of the rubber. You go, oh, it's a rubber axe. So that, there's a bunch of
rubber axe.
My rubber axe. Miles. So that there's moments like that are bad, right? But there are also a lot of moments that are really good. There are moments where, and I told Dan this too, like there are moments where they complete a shot that in my head I'm thinking, if I filmed this, I would be proud of that, because that's how cool it looked. And
I totally agree.
They did a great job with this.
I had that thought a couple of times. I was like, man, I would be so proud of that. Yeah. Like multiple times, a couple of sequences, a couple of scenes. I was like, man, this is good.
I think that the most impressive things that we saw from a filmmaking perspective was the shot compositions. Now, sometimes the shot movement is a little handheld, unnecessarily, shaky, whatever. But there's some really, really awesome shots in this movie. Some really good, well thought out shots. And also the lighting. The lighting in this whole movie was done really well in every scene. So that was like, those from a filmmaking perspective, those, and I think that you had said too, like if this movie had a better score, even it would like just make the movie like 10 times better, because the music doesn't really add anything. And I was like, yeah, I totally agree with that, because the music doesn't help with the pacing very much. So when you get these handheld shots, they don't pay off for you as well as, these very intentional shots. Like all the handheld stuff is like, okay, well, we're following a character, so we just have to follow them because we don't want to cut 100 times. But then they have these other like, very planned shots and, these still moments, whatever, that are set up beautifully and then done really well to show something really interesting on screen. And I think that a better score would definitely elevate that quite a bit.
Yeah, and I want to mention too, because there is an obvious taking the piss kind of attitude with this movie that is all it's works so much in its favor because it keeps itself very, very light and fun. So the movie is never not fun ever. It's either even if it's fun, sometimes it's fun from being intentionally funny. Sometimes it's fun from, when I say that, like, oh, I wish the kills would have gone farther, the gore, the variety of the way people get killed, maybe the kind of unpredictability of how someone will get killed would be more fun. Stuff like that would be awesome. But it makes up for that in, like, where it goes in the story and certain character reveals. It goes really absurd and it goes over the top in a great way. And it's like, oh, this is great. So it kind of evens itself out in that way, which was great. So it always keeps itself in that great tone. But I say all that to say that there is in the third act, there is a moment of true, genuine suspense. Yeah, it is nothing but very serious. Like it's not. It really takes
this
that
movie
tone away.
Does not have third act problems.
It does, which is crazy to say.
And I think that the third act it pays off so well because of how the story is structured. That this movie, like.
It's not a movie weapons-esque.
Weapons-esque, yeah. It's not a movie that has a big spoiler, like a big twist spoiler thing in it, but they do a really good job of withholding information.
They
until
do?
They
They do. They did a good job doing. You said doo. Oh, what did we see today? What was it called?
I think it was called 6-7. So yeah, the performances in the movie were all pretty good. And it's funny too, because there's this very, very small character, and I don't mind mentioning her in the spoiler free. She's a diner waitress, and yeah, she reminded me of everyone we've ever worked with who is that person's age.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just a fucking cornball who thinks that they're so funny.
And her character too, like when you're talking about like, you know, the actors we couldn't get, like I was very like that. She reminded me of we couldn't get Ann Dowd.
She was giving me the vibes of Margot Martindale.
Yeah, also very similar archetype. Yep.
What do you want, Hud?
No character actress Martin.
She's just. I'm trying to say the line. She's a sugar coated onion.
Yeah.
She's a sugar coated onion. You don't want to go near her.
I call her Pammy. She hates it.
I call her Pammy. She hates it. That was not a bad. I mean, for a first attempt, the performances are really good, especially because a lot of the acting does have to be done without dialogue a lot of the time. And the structure of the story helps us a lot to enjoy these characters as they are developing. So like, even though, like we said, like I don't like the fact that they do this huge exposition dump that leads us into understanding more of the information. But what I do like is that they at least wait a long time to do that. It doesn't do the opening on, well, when I was 8 years old, blah, 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 whatever. Like it does, but it doesn't, they don't do these large exposition dumps early on. They wait a little bit. So we have some time to get to know these characters a little bit before they explain more information and give us more details and stuff. And I appreciated that a lot. I thought that this actor, he had a lot to work with. This was I genuinely do believe this was a somewhat challenging role for someone to play.
For sure.
And that's a lot of people have made their fame off of playing serial killers. I was like, Christian Bale in American Psycho and Michael C. Hall, it's all he can do apparently is that, because they've made 400 new seasons of Dexter. A show that should have ended after season 5. There, I said it.
Whoa.
Come after me. Come after me. That's my podcast. I can say what I want. I can say what I want. But at the same time, the movie is a movie that you could still turn your brain off and watch. It's very serious acting. It's very serious performances. It's a good story. It's structured very well. Good shot composition. But you can also just turn your brain off and laugh and enjoy the absurd gore that happens throughout the movie. I thought it was done really well in that way, and that's why it does remind me a lot of the Thanksgiving movie and less of Violent Night or whatever the fuck Silent Night was going to be. Because like even the worst parts of this movie, and we'll get to them in spoiler talk, even the things they did really bad that were like inexcusably bad, laughably bad, still better than every single minute of the first 20 minutes we watched of Silent Night.
I feel you, and I agree. Yeah, I like I said, my number one takeaway from this movie is I was pleasantly surprised by so much, and I had a great time. I walked out of the theater feeling really happy that we saw it. Like, it was great. It was a great theater experience. We got lucky as hell with that crowd. It was awesome. Great time.
Great time.
Had a great time with this one.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into spoiler talk here. Ching 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 ching.
Silent night, deadly night. All ain't calm, filled with fright.
Santa isn't even real.
What?
Yeah. Spoiler alert. We're gonna get right into the rundown.
Ching 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 ching.
we're running down the chimney
Oh.
in this rundown. Now that's Margot Martin. So this movie opens up on a child waiting in a nursing home to go see his grandfather. And again, I have low expectations for this movie. So the first thing that they do is a quote unquote jump scare, just showing an old lady's face. And of course, me and Dan said this before, if you're, I don't know why people think old people are just inherently scary, but they're not to me. And then it does like this huge musical sting, and it becomes like this whole thing, and then it cuts the establishing shot, of the area, and the music stops, and it's just an old person's home. And then they cut to and they show another different old guy, and then the music comes back in, and we were immediately like, okay, this movie is intentionally tongue in cheek, like
it's being funny.
Silly, because of the way that they just like, and then they cut away, and she's like, okay, thank you, darling. He's like, okay. Cuts to the next old person. It's just like, okay, we get it. Every old person is evil in this movie.
Yeah.
So here's what ends up happening. So this kid, his parents had poisoned his grandfather, and then after making him sign over all of his, the will over to his parents entirely, they then poison him and kill him. And on their way back home, they are stalked by this old man that they saw at the nursing home, who's now dressed as Santa, and he kills both of the parents. And in the process of killing both of the parents, the mom stabs him in the neck with her stiletto. It was a really cool shot. And he, ends up starts to bleed out. And then we cut to present day, okay? And here's what's going on. We got our main character, Billy, okay? Billy is a serial killer. He kills people during Christmas time based on who a voice in his head named Charlie tells him to kill. So essentially, he's like the way that they explain it in the movie is that if he doesn't kill these people, then someone else dies that he doesn't get to choose. All right, someone has to die. So you might as well just find bad people and kill bad people. So that's what they do together. This voice in his head and himself. And they've been all over. They've been traveling, and then doing this every,
He's a drifter. I go where the wind takes me.
He is, walking out of his most recent kill, and he goes to this diner. And at the diner, he sees this girl that he's just immediately infatuated with. He's like, oh my God, I need to know who this woman is. So he follows her kind of to a little Christmas shop that her family owns. And he wants to get to know this girl. He's like crushing on her pretty hard. So he decides to apply for a job there, and he gets the job. But while he is working this job and getting to know this girl and like falling in love with her, he's also still killing. So the first person that he kills is this old man who was a little bit like touchy-feely with, the girl a little bit. And he was giving off like creep vibes for sure.
Yeah, he's an old man rubbing her arms over and over and saying, if I was 30 years younger, I'd be all over you.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's just George.
He kills this guy by sneaking into his home late at night and hitting him in the head with an axe right down the middle of the head. It was a pretty good gore. They, shy away from it at first, but then they go back to it and they show like his head split open and bleeding out everywhere. So that was a fun one. So then he is, still working at the shop, and he's already expressed to this girl that he's kind of into her and that he would want to go out with her sometime. But she's like, I'm going to determine when I want to spend time with you, so don't ask me out again. He's like, okay, got it. So she's like, hey, I got to go take my nephew to his hockey thing. Do you want to come with me? And he's like, this is my chance. This is my in. She wants me.
She wants me, bro. She's all over me.
She's all over me. She's going to leave me alone.
Bro, she's hitting me up like crazy. I'm like, dude, leave me alone. Let me breathe.
And what we're learning about this girl at the same time that we're learning about this guy is that she is a violent person as well, to a certain degree. She has
temperamental. She's
very temperamental. I think some people might call it bipolar. She calls it, explosive personality disorder. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but that's what they call it in the movie. And so, yeah, she has a temper. And while they're at this hockey thing, what he is being told by the voice in his head by Charlie is that there's a woman at this hockey game that needs to be killed. So he's like trying to silence that voice in his head and wanting to kill this old lady, while this woman whose name is Pammy, Pammy sees that these two kids are bullying her nephew. So she just walks out onto the ice, steals a hockey stick from another kid, and then starts mollywhopping these two fools. And she's about to give the coach what's for too. And they were like bullying the hell out of him. They were calling him the F slur and stuff like that because he had a pink stick. So she beats the piss out of these kids with this hockey stick. And
he's like, I'm bricked the fuck up right now, bro.
And yeah, Billy is like, marriage.
Love and marriage.
So yeah, he runs out onto the ice and prevents her from beating the piss out of the coach too, because he gave a boys will be boys bullshit. And then she ends up getting arrested. Now, throughout the whole leading up to this point, she's been getting a call from someone named Max, and she keeps declining it, and it keeps like triggering her. She like gets really upset when she sees this name on her phone. Definitely could have blocked him by this point, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. If you're going to get like this triggered and like not trying to blame her for being triggered, but you got to just block this guy's phone number.
It's true.
So while she is in custody, we learn that Max is her ex-boyfriend and he's also a cop. And the reason why they broke up is because he was violent with her. What we know is that he had punched her in the face. This was the scene that I was talking about or alluding to earlier, that this is one of the best performances in the movie, because we are in a situation in which this woman is in custody, right? Because she has committed a crime. The person in charge of her crime is her abusive ex-boyfriend, and she has a disorder that makes her want to explode into rage and hurt people. So there's just this really creepy moment of this scene where he touches her. He like puts his hands on her shoulders and then like leans in and sniffs her hair, and you can see her just like visibly shaking, and like, so she's like, it's like this combination of like she's terrified and she's also extremely angry, but she also knows that she cannot blow up right now. She has to control her anger right now because this guy is a cop, so he has all the power. And it was really good. It was a really good tense scene, good lighting and everything. And I'm like, this is okay. This is they explained to us that Billy only kills bad people. Here's your Chekhov's bad guy, So then Billy goes to go kill the woman that he saw at the hockey game. And again, Charlie knows everything. So Charlie is
the voice in his head.
The voice in his head. Charlie is omniscient. He can see everything all the time. He still has to use his eyes to, identify individuals, but then he can also see like where they are and everything like that. So he helps Billy navigate even to where to find these people at certain times. And this is one of the ones where he ends up driving like over an hour away out into the middle of nowhere, and there's this giant like airplane hangar. It felt like, and he shows up and there's like a party going on. So he goes, and this was done really well. So he goes into the party and he wears a Santa suit when he does his killing. He goes into the party. Everyone in the party is wearing a Santa suit. And we're all like, ha ha ha. What are the odds? They're all Santa. It might be hard for him to find this girl that he's looking for since they're all Santa. And then the camera turns around to behind him and to reveal this is a Nazi Santa party. There are giant Nazi flags hanging from the back, and the woman that he is there to kill comes out and says, "Hey, welcome to our I'm dreaming of a white power Christmas," which was a bar. Is that a bar? Chat, is this a bar? And we're like, oh, okay, so yeah, kill everyone here. And Charlie and Billy have a conversation. And Billy's like, I'm gonna kill everyone. And he's like, well, Charlie says, will you at least grab a gun? And then Billy says, guns are for pussies. And then so I was like, it's a good line. And I will talk more about this scene. Remind me to talk more about this scene later because we're in the rundown. Okay. So he goes back in there and he does exactly what we expect. He ends up killing everybody in there, and then he burns the place to the ground. The big bad, Nazi lady tries to escape on an ATV, and then he hides in the woods and then cuts her head off. So then he gets back to the shop the next day. Now he's got like a black eye. He was bleeding out of his leg, and his, this girl that he's infatuated with is like, hey, we actually need you to be Santa, because the guy who would normally get Santa is the guy he killed, the first person he killed, isn't answering our calls or anything. So he's like, usually when I put the Santa suit on, that means kill time. So there's like this really good, like, tense scene where not only is he trying to repress his rage and his propensity for violence while wearing the Santa suit, so that he could entertain these kids for a little bit of time so that he can help out with the store. But at the same time, Max shows up. And when there are really bad people around, Charlie can sense them, and he needs Billy to look at them in order to, show him why that person deserves to die, why they're going to be the next target. But they kept doing this thing where Max is like always just out of reach. Like he leaves right before he gets to be looked at. So after he, powers through the whole Santa thing, he ends up actually kissing and sleeping with the girl in the movie Pamela. For the first time with Pamela. So then the police end up finding George dead because his kids came home, I guess, and
his grandson and his daughter.
His grandson and his daughter ended up coming to his home, and they found his dead body. And it was revealed to us that not only was George found in there dead, but in the crawl space was found George's wife, who he had stabbed and murdered a long time ago and hidden in his crawl space. And so we're like, oh, okay. So yeah, these, so with the first guy, we didn't really know. The second one, obviously Nazi, got to kill her. And then, but now we know, okay, he really does only kill bad people. It's not random, and they talk to Billy a little bit, but they ultimately, move on to other, suspects. And at the same time that all of this is going on in this little town that they're in, there have been a string of kidnappings. Okay.
The Snatcher.
The Snatcher is what they call him. And Snatcher, I hardly know her. The Snatcher has been kidnapping children in the town, and the number of kids missing has been increasing every day of the movie. And the owner of the Christmas shop, who is the father of Pam, we couldn't get J.K. Simmons, he's walking through the parking lot. He notices that there is a child who has been abducted who is in the back of a car. And so he goes up to the car and he's like tapping on the glass and he's like freaking out. He's like trying to tell the kid, like, calm down, I'm going to help you. And the kid is trying to get his attention to tell him, hey, you need to turn around. But he doesn't understand. He doesn't turn around, and someone wearing a Santa mask shoots him in the back of the head. And then, so we have this funeral scene in the shop. And Billy and Pamela are laying together, and she's like, the only thing that I want for Christmas this year is to find the person who did this to my dad and cut him up into 1,000,000 pieces. And then Billy's like, funny you should mention it. I might be able to help you out with that one.
What if I told you?
What if told you?
Sharks. What if I told you?
What if I told you that Christmas miracles do come true? With your financial help, I can kill more people. So yeah, you're
ugly and you're very dumb, and I'm out. That's Kevin O'Leary, by the way.
Okay.
Fuck you and fuck your poor family, you piece of shit. It's Kevin O'Leary.
So he ends up watching security cam footage of the killing of this man, and he's able to get the information about where this person is from the voice in his head, Charlie. So on their driving there, he explains to Pam what all is happening. Okay, so this is the big exposition dump that they give. He explains that after his mom stabbed this man in the neck with her stiletto, while he was bleeding out, he touched his hand and he was transferred an omniscient version of that man's consciousness into his own head. And that person now forces him, or heavily encourages, I guess you could say, to kill people during Christmas time, but only bad people who deserve it. And he can show Billy why that person deserves to die. So like, this is the first time in the movie that we see like these people doing bad stuff. Like, it shows that in Billy's head, he was able to see that, this old man killed his wife, and he was able to see that this Nazi lady had kidnapped and murdered a young black woman. But yeah, and then they showed like this montage of kills that he had done, and then they talk about the first time that he ever killed someone, and it was one of his foster parents, and how bad she was, and how she had ended up killing a couple of kids herself. I will say this part went on a little too long for me. Mm-hmm. I know we're in the rundown. I can talk more about that too. But eventually they get to a tree farm company. And where this becomes full circle is at the beginning of the movie, he's in a hotel room that he had killed someone in that hotel room already. The person in that hotel room was an employee of this tree farm company. So it's just this, you can even see the confusion on his face where he's like, why are we back here? And Charlie explains to me, he's like, here's where you're going to go. So they go into this little shack and there's no one in there. And they find a trap door on the bottom. Now, this is where it becomes a little bit Zodiac-esque because not only are they dealing with trying to find a serial killer right now in this area, but they've been being followed by Max. Max has been following them because he's, jealous ex-boyfriend and he doesn't trust this guy, whatever. So they jump that. So they open this trap door, and in it is a small under the floorboard area that is filled with balls like from a ball pit. And they go down there and they find these kids. These kids are bound and drugged. And they were able to end up rescuing all of them. But while they're rescuing all of them, the killer reveals himself and he takes Pam hostage, drags her into the ball pit, has a knife to her throat. Charlie helps him locate the man and to stab him so that Pam can go free. But in the process of them fighting each other, Billy does kill him, but he gets stabbed quite a bit. So then he's like, okay, I need to get to the hospital. I just need to get to the car. So I'm going to walk out there. I'm going to get to the car so that we can go. As he's walking to his car, Max is outside and he starts opening fire. He shoots and basically kills Billy. So then Pam comes out and she's freaking the fuck out and she's like, what happened? Like, why would you do this? Blah, blah, blah. And this is a little bit predictable. We kind of saw this coming just based on like what their relationship was and how they were, building up to this moment. But she ends up touching Billy's hand and the powers from Charlie are now transferred into her head, but with Billy's voice and his consciousness. And now he's an omniscient, consciousness that exists in her head. So they do set it up for a sequel. I know you mentioned a potential sequel. They do set it up that way. And then she looks at Max, and then now we're being shown why Charlie has been wanting Billy to look at Max the entire movie. And it is that he has been taking money from these tree farm people to look the other way when it comes to these child abductions. Mm-hmm. So he had been profiting off of the suffering of these children. So she ends up axing him to death.
Which is funny. They really doubled down because it's like we already saw that he's an abusive.
Yeah. Like we knew he was a bad guy because they told us that he abuses women.
Yeah.
So
it's like, God damn, this guy's just fucking horrible.
This is the worst guy.
Yeah. So it makes it really satisfying to see that final kill, especially from her. Like she's the one who gets to kill him. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's a little bit sad that Billy dies, especially because he's been doing all this good stuff for so many years. Mm-hmm. But we kind of saw that that's where this was going, and technically they are together because he's living in her head. So yeah, it's that's the plot of the movie, and it's like when I say like the story is actually pretty good. Like the whole point of like this omniscient consciousness living inside of his head, that's like in my interpretation is like this guy is actually Santa. This is a consciousness of Santa. He has Santa powers. That's why he's omniscient.
He can tell who's naughty or nice.
He can tell who's naughty or nice, and he knows where they are. He sees you when you're sleeping. He sees when you're awake. So it was done really well. I've never seen that be an element of a slasher movie like this. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was really interesting and creative. And like I said, that whole exposition dump, like it all comes like at the beginning of the third act, because that's when he actually has to explain it. And I didn't want or need the explanation. When I said that I wanted to go back and talk about that, I did think that section was too long. Yeah. I was like, yeah, you showing like this, foster mother and all this stuff is like, this was not necessary at all. You guys really, drag it out. And, even like, showing us the scene again of him getting Charlie's powers, I was like, it was funny and laughable because when he goes to touch his hand, we get like Disney Channel graphics of like lightning shooting from his hand into his eyes. And it just looked like scribbles on the screen. And it was really stupid and bad. And we were laughing at it in the theater. And they did it twice because they did it when Billy touches Charlie's hand, and then they also did it when Pamela touches Billy's hand. So it was like, yeah, they cheaped out on these graphics pretty hard for this season.
I think it works though,
and
I really like it. I loved it. I loved how bad it looked. I liked how cheesy and campy it was.
I mean, yeah,
especially because it's not a live it's sort of a live shot, but it's really a still, and the graphics themselves are the only thing moving. Yeah. I don't know. I found a lot of personality in it. It's like Power Rangers. It reminded me of the Power Rangers.
Yeah, I thought it was just a little bit silly. I mean, it was laughable. I think that you didn't need it either. You could have just, it could have just been that. Like, he dies, and I mean, that's how it happens in the Santa Claus. It's just Tim Allen watches Santa die, and then he has to become Santa just from watching. So, but yeah, I thought it was silly. But this whole exposition dump that we get, like I said, it's at the very end of the movie. So throughout the entire movie, we're not focusing on why he does what he does, or how he does what he does, or why Charlie talks to him or whatever. We're only focusing on what is happening and not why it's happening. And I like that a lot. It kept me engaged throughout the movie. And I thought it was a very good way to tell this story. Oh, that's the end of the movie when she axes him to death.
Movie over. She's the killer now. And when they make a sequel, inevitably, they need to call it Silent Night, Deadlier Night. I don't want Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
Silent Nights.
Silent Night, Deadlier Night.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm getting out ahead of it, okay? We're a lot better.
Too Deadly, Too Furious.
We're just good at this, okay?
Tokyo Drift. Yeah. Like we said in the spoiler-free talk, a lot of what they did was really good. When we talk about the things that they did well, when we talk about the shot composition, the shot of the Nazi airplane hangar burning down was a really good shot. I thought that they did that really well.
That's one of the ones that sticks out the most in my mind. So just to make sure we're talking about the same one, it's now engulfed in flames, and in the center of the frame is a little bit out of focus swastika ornament, whatever you want to call it. And then in the background, it is perfectly aligned with the very middle of the swastika on the flag, which is also kind of out of focus. So they line up perfectly, but then it focus pulls to then bring that flag into focus as it burns away.
Right.
Like it was such a cool shot, and there was so much personality to it.
Yeah, I mean, the second scene of the movie had a really impressive shot too, where we're looking at Charlie and he's in this hotel room. He's cleaning up blood off of his face, and Charlie. I think I said we see Charlie. No, we're seeing Billy. Billy is cleaning blood off of his face, and then Charlie says, "Don't forget to hurry up. This isn't our room." And then we do a focus pull. It's actually a focus push from Billy to what is in the mirror behind him, which is the dead body in the bathtub. So it was like, oh, he's like, yeah, this isn't his place. He just killed somebody in here. So it was a very cool shot and a very interesting way to do that. And the thing about the camera movement that I didn't like. Okay, so I have two thoughts on this. Okay, they have a lot of these like handheld camera movement shots that are long takes. Only like a handful of them in the movie. And the thing about it is the way they are shot is as if this is a POV, but it never is when they do this. And I remember a couple of times I was like, whose fucking POV is this?
Yeah.
And if you think about it as that is Charlie's POV as an omniscient consciousness, I think it's done very well. If you don't think about it like that, it's just a shitty handheld shot that goes on for too long. Mm. So if that's intentional and that's what they are trying to do with that, then sure, that's great. I think they accomplished that. If that's not what they were going for, well, then they needed to do something more creative than just hold the camera with your hand and then follow the action.
Well, you talked about the lighting being so good in the interrogation scene. The lighting was just awesome because they do the lighting trick where it forces the actor's eyes of playing Max to be completely shrouded in darkness and shadows. And so it makes him
top-down lighting.
Yeah, it makes him look like a true, genuine villain. It makes him look very scary. And then that scene too, you talked about how the performance from the actress, because that's when we get a reveal. She says, "You fucking punched me." That's clear that he's like an ex-lover of hers, and she's like, "Hey, you were an abusive boyfriend," and he's like, "It didn't count," or whatever.
Takesies backsies.
I said sorry about that. Why are you still fucking bitching about that? I said sorry. So he's just a piece of shit. And then before he leaves, he very, very threateningly and creepily grabs her shoulders very tightly, puts his head down, and starts sniffing her hair and saying like, I miss you or some shit. And you see the fucking way that her skin is crawling, and there's a lot of fear and disgust and shame, all portrayed in just her single wordless performance. It's really good.
Yeah, and I think that the ending sequence is another one that had really good lighting. This is happening at nighttime in a warehouse, so the only light that they have is moonlight and flashlights. So when they actually go into this little shack and they go under the floorboards in this area with these this ball pit, it was just really well lit that it just felt like it was existing in that moment, in that scene, because of the way that it looks like the moonlight is coming through the windows on the first floor into this tiny little hole where that's illuminated, and then a couple of strands of this flashlight being able to illuminate some of the area, but then the rest of it is dark. And that's like, we had said that scene gave off like Zodiac levels of suspense at times, and that was a big part of it, was that lighting, and having we're trying to look for these kids now because we see that the kids are in here, but the killer is also probably in here, and it's a room that is just lit enough to where you can see everything and know where everything is, but still dark enough that you could hide in a dark corner if you wanted to. So it was they played with the shot composition in that scene a lot too, and just the imagery of the children in the ball pit with their pale faces, like their malnourished, pale faces, and their hands tied with zip ties. It was just a very haunting image, and done really well. And I was like, again, just something I've never seen someone do this before. Yeah,
it was cool. Yeah, that end scene was no joke. And yeah, I know we talked about how good it was with the tension of it, but yeah, I guess I didn't really give it enough credit for how well it was lit and shot too. I mean, that overhead bird's eye view of the trapdoor with the flashlight being put on it reminded me of a shot from Longlegs. And I know we didn't like that movie, but we had given it as high of a score as we did because of how great it looked.
Yeah, it was shot. It was the best thing about it
visually. So that is a compliment to say it. It reminded me of a shot from that movie. And it's just very, and like you said, like the very like macabre kind of visual of these kids, it matches that blue, gray, dreary, bleak tone in this scene.
Yeah.
And like we said, like
even the choice of the balls that they used were good.
Yeah.
Because the balls were not vibrant, bright. They were like white and like faded red and faded green. Like they were like, they weren't, fun, silly. They were scary. They looked abandoned, So they did a lot really well with that scene. And the things that I didn't love. So when I said the editing is actually bad, part of what I referred to that was obviously when I mentioned that you can see that the axe is a rubber axe when it bends. I'm like, that's editing. You gotta. I know that y'all did that on set, but when you're doing fake blood and you're low budget, fake blood stains everything. You're trying to get everything in one take. That's fine. Cut that out of the movie right before it starts to bend. Cut, because you shouldn't have left that in. How those scenes kind of don't match the pace of those sounds or the music that they're using most of the time. And I think that I don't know if this is a fair complaint by the end of the movie, but one of the things I didn't like was when he would picture these people that he's being told to kill. They had these quick little jump cuts on the screen of that person in all red, like just red monotone, and it was I didn't like that. I thought that was really cheesy, and it didn't help with the pace of the movie, and it took away from a good acting performance that we're seeing in order to show that he's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, we know he's crazy, you know. So it was just like I didn't love that. I think that it's a little bit better in the context of they're just not showing us what Charlie's actually showing him until later, and we see, oh, Charlie showed him this full murder, and we're only getting glimpses of it, on our end, as like a foreshadowing or a teaser.
Sure.
But I was like, well, don't do that.
I think too. I think if you want to do it, I just would cut the audio. I don't like that it was just like, I kept doing that with these jump, and I was just like, if you're gonna do it, I think it would actually be just less annoying to the audience, but also a little creepier to have no audio with those fucked up shots. It's like, okay, if you're gonna do it that way.
Yeah, and I think that it kind of just harkens back to what we were talking about with Keeper, in that when you are doing that, I don't have any context for that, and so it can only become forgivable once I have that context. And since I didn't, I was like, I don't care what you're showing me right now. Like, I already know he's going to kill that guy. What I'm perceiving is you're just showing me that he wants to kill this guy. Of course he is.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't know what you're showing me yet. But yeah, I think that, cutting the audio could make that a little bit better. And even just it being one slowed down shot instead of a bunch of, shots, because I think it just hurts the pace. That was like my biggest issue with it.
Sure. Yeah, and it's probably a good time to bring up the title cards too, because some of them are like, so there's multiple types of
title cards.
Yeah,
isn't that insane?
You get these like wannabe Tarantino-esque kind of.
100% want to be Tarantino because of the way that they actually do it and show it.
Freeze frame.
Yeah, the freeze frame and
the text. And
so here are the two types of title cards that they have, and we'll talk about this Tarantino one first. Right before he goes to kill someone, they have a still shot that is now the red monochromatic monotone, red color version of that shot, and then it says kill and then the name of who they're killing. Like, kill George, kill Darlene,
kill Nazis.
Sometimes
they are done for like a kind of a comedic purpose.
Yeah,
and it really worked for the audience that we saw it with. They didn't always work for me, but
I thought they were tacky. I thought they were just like this is so bad it's good. Levels of bad, just like this is so stupid, unnecessary, it's not cool, it doesn't look cool, it's just bad enough that I can laugh at it and not so bad that it turned me off of the movie, so that's good. But they're just I mean, I don't like title cards in general, and then you do like the most unnecessary fucking title cards I've ever seen. And what's crazy is that those title cards I think are unforgivable, really bad, should not have done them whatsoever. You're just going for some weird fucking style points where you should have, focused your efforts in other places for style points. But even then, if that has, 0.01% redeemable qualities to it, the other title cards have even less.
Yeah. Zero
credibility, zero purpose, and zero forgivability. Because the other title cards is telling us what the fucking date is.
December 23rd.
December 20th. Now, as you guys know, most serial killers like to keep trophies, right? Well, what's his trophy? It's a fucking advent calendar.
And I loved this element of the movie so much.
His trophy case
calendar was great.
Is an advent calendar in which he takes blood from the people he kills and then opens the door and smears the blood onto the back of the advent calendar to mark them off. Do you guys know what a fucking advent calendar is? I'll give you a hint. It's a type of calendar.
It tells you what date it is.
It tells you what date it is.
So to see him open up a December 22nd flap and then smear the blood and then put the flap back down so that December 22nd is fucking close up center frame, to then cut to a title card that says December 22nd. I'm like,
right.
Fuck you.
And at one point in the movie, and you want to talk about unforgivably bad, this is like this is so fucking stupid, god awful, is there's a point in the movie, I swear to God, where not only do we get the title card, this is all happens within like 30 seconds, by the way. We get the title card of what day it is. We get the advent calendar being filled in for the previous day. And then we get the voiceover of Charlie saying, "Hey, Billy, don't forget, we only have 3 days till Christmas." I know how many fucking days there are till Christmas, buddy. I'm very fucking aware at this point. And it didn't matter one goddamn iota. All you, if the only thing you did was mention it was Christmas Eve once, that would be enough for me to know what fucking day it was. How important is it for me to know what day it is? They don't lay out any form of consequences if he doesn't kill however many people
it's almost Christmas.
by Christmas.
Yeah,
there's
it's
no.
like, what does that matter?
They didn't explain that. They didn't explain why it being Christmas was important. Like to the. And I understand that.
Like Begonia did. Begonia, you know the stakes.
Right.
You know the stakes. So when they say one day until, you know the stakes. Whereas this, there's no stakes.
And in Begonia, it's not something that is extremely easy to understand and know, like where the lunar cycle is at.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but we know how many days there is until Christmas.
Yeah.
Because there's a day before that. It has its own name. It's called Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Like it was just so fucking stupid, man. And you know, yeah, those title cards were absolutely god fucking awful, and they weren't even cool, man. It was like a fucking DeFont font on a black screen. With the other ones, at least you could see how maybe someone liked them stylistically, because it is a stylized thing. This one is not. White screen, white text on a black screen. Get this the fuck out of this movie expeditiously. And this is a movie that's okay to be bad. That's the funny part about it. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that again, this goes straight to it being a low budget movie. The scene of him killing all of the Nazis was really poorly executed. And the reason why I say this is that everyone in this scene is wearing a Santa costume, and they are cutting so often and whip panning so often and moving, jumping, turning, spinning, all of this so often. For the majority of that sequence, could not fucking tell who the protagonist was and who the people who are being killed were.
Yeah.
Like someone would get stabbed and I go, oh, that's him. Wait, no, it's not him. It's a different one. And then, okay, well, where is he at now? Is he the one in the middle of the frame or is he on the left? Oh, he was actually on the right. Mm. I had no fucking idea who was who.
Because in that sequence, he gets stabbed.
He gets stabbed. He gets a bottle smashed over his head. He gets shot.
Yeah.
And I was
I thought he was doing that to another person. And oh, wait, he got stabbed. Because, yeah, everyone has the exact same outfit on as him. And they're all white people. It's a Nazi party. And he's a white guy. So, I totally agree with you. That was such a... It's still like a funny scene in its own right. But it's not... I think that you put it... perfectly. It was executed so poorly.
Yeah, it's like I'm not saying, hey, I need Kingsman, church sequence level of choreography. I'm not asking for John Wick. But what I am saying is, hey, maybe let's make their costumes Nazi red and make his like bright red.
Yeah.
Or something, or like
Black Santa costumes.
Maybe they don't wear the beard. They just do the costume and the hat, and then he does the full beard and everything. Something to completely differentiate these people.
Yeah.
Because you're cutting so often. Like there would be times where he punches someone, flips them or whatever, and then it cuts to them rolling and then cuts back to him and then whip pans to them as they rolled. And I was like, who's rolling?
Yeah.
Who is actually being hit right now? I don't know.
It was really messy.
It was very, very messy. Very, it just wasn't executed very well. It was still a good concept of a scene. It was still a good idea for the scene. But it was not executed correctly. And if you're going to go for something like that, then, maybe do a little bit more choreography than what you were expecting. And I also understand that it's not like this guy is a John Wick or Kingsman assassin, because that's the point of those two scenes in both of those movies is this is a trained assassin versus a bunch of regular people usually. I know that he's not that, so I'm okay with having a sequence that's similar to like Nobody, where that guy's been out of the game for so long he's like not that good at killing people. But it wasn't, and I couldn't fucking tell who was who, and I was getting pissed off. I was like, get it over with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the lady comes out with a gun, shoots everyone, and he gets shot in the leg.
Stormtrooper shit.
Yeah, Stormtrooper style. She ends up shooting. It's also like a Deus Ex Machina, because I was like, how's he really going to kill all 30 of these people? And then she comes out and kills the rest of them with a gun. I was like, okay. So yeah, it was I liked the idea of the sequence. I think it was a funny punchline. It was a very funny reveal. The shock factor of that, was done really well and paced well. But the actual sequence of him killing people, I was just like, yeah, this is no bueno. This is not a slasher movie. This becomes an action movie at this point.
True.
And that's not what we expected.
And it just reinforces my whole issue, which is the lack of variety of kills. Oh, I'm going to axe this person. 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 I'm like, okay, man. Like, it's just, there was
If
some.
he equalizered them and just killed them with a different item in the room.
Yeah, that's so exciting. That's so much more exciting to me to actually have unpredictability into how someone is going to die. And having fun with the sequences. And that's why it's like so interesting that like probably the goriest kill of the entire movie is during one of the flashback montages.
Yeah. The hammer to the face thing.
Yeah, he hammers a guy's face in, and it's like actually showing it. It's not shying away from it, and
this
it's
is all before he gets his signature axe.
yeah, and it's like wow, how come? How fun would it have been? And then even in there's a chase scene with him and a chainsaw, and it's like oh, that would be which they shy away from it, but there's a chainsaw. It's like oh, that would have been cool and unpredictable. And then dude, they have this really cool setup. They have this awesome setup where he's walking up on a mechanic who is being a dick to him, and he knows is evil, and the mechanic is. His face is looking up underneath a car because it's on jacks. And you're like, oh my God, if he just lets that car down, it'll smash his fucking face in.
Yeah.
And then he eventually axes him. And I'm like, oh, really? We're going to axe him? Why would you set this up? But then as he's leaving after axing him, he then lets the car down to smash the guy's face, and they don't show any of it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You finally had set something up to be more in a very like Final Destination kind of way,
right?
Of like, oh, this is gonna be really satisfying to see this guy's face smashed by the car, and you don't even show it. And so I'm hoping
and it was in the trailer too.
I'm really, really hoping that it's budgetary. It was budgetary restrictions. It was like, look, man, I would love to do a cool, crazy sequence with all kinds of different ways of killing, and
which even then the montage was poorly edited as well, and primarily because they did not stick to a specific structure of how they were going to show these scenes. And what I mean by that is, on some of those scenes, they show the first half of him killing somebody, and then cut to the next one, and then later come back to the rest of him killing that same person. And then on some of them, they don't. They play the whole sequence all the way through. So I was like, this is
like the mechanic one, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, the mechanic one, they just played it all the way through. And then the Chainsaw Girl is cut up into two different sections, split up across the montage. But then the first one is played all the way through. I'm just like, why are you guys going back to some of them and splitting those in that, but not the others? So it's just a very poorly edited montage.
Messy.
And that happens, especially when you don't film enough for the length of montage you want, which is fine. Just fucking make it all the same. If you do it all one sequence and then it all matches, but you didn't do that. So yeah, like I shouldn't notice things like that. I shouldn't be thinking about the editing when I'm watching a movie. Right. But this is a movie that's supposed to be bad, and because it was as good as it ended up being, I feel more justified in complaining about shit like that, because I'm like, hey, y'all had something really good on your hands. You really do. Like, don't fuck it up in the editing room. That's the last place that you need to fuck up this movie with these performances, this lighting, this cinematography. Do not fuck this movie up in the editing bay. Like, that's unacceptable.
I feel you. But overall, like I said, pleasantly surprising movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it again.
I will too. I think it was a fun one. I think what you just said, they have something on their hands. I feel that way too. They should make another one. I hope that it has a better budget. I would like to see more from this director. All of that stuff. I'm in on, and I was fucking loathing seeing this movie, and I'm like, I hope they make more. I had fun.
Yeah.
So it's a Christmas miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. Wow.
Yes, you guys should all go watch it.
You should.
I think that you would enjoy it. My favorite part of this movie, I know we talked about it in length, and it is the sequence at the end of the movie in the ball pit. When they're rescuing these kids. Very, very good imagery, very creative, a creative space to imagine, and then actually using that space in a creative way at the same time. So, it is very out there, and it serves a purpose at the same time. It was done really well. My least favorite part of this movie, it's the title cards. And usually I try not to make title cards my least favorite part of a movie, especially when I bitch about them all the time, and it's just like, oh, that's going to be a cop out. But these ones were the worst I have seen in like 10 years. These are the most unnecessary, worthless title cards of all time.
My favorite aspect of the movie was them perfectly balancing not taking themselves too seriously, with moments where they do need to take themselves seriously enough for us to care about the characters and the leverage and weight of the situation of the scenes that they're in. It's really hard to balance that. It is so hard to balance that. And I think they did a great job in this movie. My least favorite part of the movie was, unfortunately, it was the lack of variety of kills. There was really one kill that felt satisfying to me in the whole movie, and that's kind of like, that's just sad to me. I would really like to have more variety in the types of kills. I would like to show more of the kills. I think they should be a little more extravagant, a little more gruesome, a little more over the top. I would love that, and I really hope that they make a sequel and can do that. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, you're not shooting for a PG-13 rating. Don't be a bitch.
Exactly, because that's the only reason I cared to see this movie was, again, like you said, they do the marketing gimmick, and they're like the producers of Terrifier 3. It's like Terrifier 3 is one of those movies where I saw Terrifier 1 and I was like, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and it had some really cool kills. But guess what? It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen by a fucking long shot.
Did you ever watch All Hallows Eve?
No.
Yeah, that movie is a snooze fest for me.
Terrifier was awful, and the only thing I've ever seen of the other Terrifiers is a couple of kills that looked fucking incredible and were so violent and so over the top and really cool practical effects. So if I were to ever watch Terrifier 3, it would just be me skipping to the kills and that's it, you know? And that's what I was expecting out of this. Now, obviously, luckily we got a fun, good movie, but the whole selling point of it should be that when you get to these moments where you get these kills, that they are very over the top and super, super crazy and cool and creative. And so it was really let down by that, you know, in that aspect. So.
Yeah. For this one, if I'm giving it a rating just as a movie in general, you know, a movie where in that final sequence we're comparing it to things like Zodiac. Well, if I have to put this right up next to Zodiac as a whole, I'll probably give this one like a 3 out of 10. You know, maybe you could go up to 3.5, closer to a 4 than a 2. As a Christmas slasher movie, as a fun, intentionally gimmicky for the Christmas era movie, I would give it like a 7.
Well, it's funny you say that because I'm doing the same train of thought here. I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
This movie's a 5 for me. It was when I think of a 5 and I think about I know I bitch all the time about how hard it is to rate movies. Please feel bad for me. It's so hard, guys. But it's really hard to rate movies. It is. I regret.
As a straight white man,
that's straight white.
This
man.
is oppression.
My throughout our podcast, there are so many ratings I would change, and that's why we're going to do a re-rating.
We do our re-rating, revisit episode.
There's a lot that I'll change. One of the ones that I like really stand by is the menu. I think of the menu all the time because I'm like, yeah, that movie was a 5 out of 10. It was perfectly it was good. It was enjoyable, but it was just about average.
Yeah,
it was a good, enjoyable experience, and that's it. And that's how I feel about this movie. It was. You know, it was good. But I see what you're saying. It's like, if you talk about what I expected this to be versus what it was, then yeah, it's like a fucking 7. Because I was like, are you kidding me? I thought this was going to be a 1.
Yeah. And also it's like, if you, like I said, like if I'm actually putting it up next to fucking Zodiac, or if I'm putting it up next to other all-time slashers, like, you know, Friday the 13th or whatever, like, yeah, it's not going to reach those heights. But if I'm putting it up against Violent Night and Silent Night,
yeah, like
those other two violence-based Christmas movies, This one clears both of those. Yeah. Easily a 7. So we are going to go into part 2. This will be a games episode. We're going to play games in part 2 because it's a special. It's a holiday special.
Yeah.
So we will be right back. And
let's hear those sleigh bells ringing and jing jing jingling too. Oh, come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. We can build a snowman. We can say that he is Parson Brown.
We'll say, "Are you married?" He'll say, "Have you even thought about the economical and political state of the world?"
Whoa.
Why would I be married right now? Why would I be married right now? Look at our president.
Literally, look at our president. Why would I be married right now? Well, I'm in town.
We got some games.
We got some games. Let's play some games.
We have some games. You want me to do my first one first?
Yeah, you can go first.
So these are some of the similar types of games we've been playing lately.
Yeah.
And they've just been Christmasified.
Games. We love games, folks.
Games, I love games, I love games.
I love games. I love games. I love games. I love games.
Games. Okay, so we have first up a blind ranking. So without knowing what comes next, rank these movies. Your first movie is Home Alone.
Okay. Am I allowed to ask if they're all going to be Christmas movies?
They are all Christmas movies.
Okay. Christmas movies. Home Alone. I'm going number 3. That's got to be high up there.
Number 3. Okay, next one, Citizen Kane. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, your next movie. Okay, your next movie, Elf. Will Ferrell's Elf. Will Ferrell's, not Jon Favreau's.
This is It's gonna get me into some hot water here.
Don't get blasted on Twitter again.
Put that at 8. I find that movie very annoying.
Pig. All right, your next movie is The Polar Express. Express.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
That's literally not physically possible.
I'm pretty sure it is. So 9.
Yeah. If y'all thought y'all were mad about Violent Night, Daniel just put The Polar Express at number 9.
Didn't I say on that episode that I do not like Christmas movies? I've never really seen a good one.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. You can get involved.
Happy Christmas special. I fucking hate Christmas movies.
Happy Christmas special to our movie podcast with the guy who doesn't like Christmas movies. Your next movie is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, the claymation one? Mm-hmm. Oh, give me number 2.
Number 2. All right. Your next movie is A Christmas Carol. Disney's A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey doing the voices.
Never seen this one. Put it at 5.
Okay, number 5. All right. You've never seen that movie? I've played it for you 100 times.
No shot.
We literally played it in this house while we were hosting Christmas 2 years ago.
I remember nothing.
Okay. Your next movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, that's number 1.
Number 1. Nightmare Before Christmas, number 1.
Yeah, number 1.
Wow. All right. Your next movie is Home Alone 2. Lost in New York.
The better one, quite frankly.
I set you up for the trunk.
I've always found that one to be a lot better than the first one. You know what's funny? Funny enough, I don't remember that one as well. Eesh. I remember that one. I remember the second Home Alone even less than the Alex D. Linz one. Wow. Let's go. Where are we at? Let's go 7.
Say 7.
Say 7.
Okay. I only have 9 movies on this list, apparently. That's my bad. I no count good.
All right.
Do you want to keep Polar Express at number 9, knowing that 9 is
Yeah,
the
fuck
lowest?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, your next movie is This Christmas.
This Christmas.
An absolute classic in our household.
In our household, we do watch this one often. It's also, I think that's the best Christmas song. The fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas For me.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-da. Shake a hand, shake a hand.
Honestly, honestly, for that alone, 4. Give me that number 4 this Christmas.
All right. So you've got Nightmare Before Christmas, number 1, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, number 2, Home Alone, number 3, This Christmas, number 4, A Christmas Carol at number 5, and number 6, you have How the Grinch Stole Christmas by default, because
The cartoon one?
no, the live action Jim Carrey.
Ooh.
You ended
I
up
like the Christmas
with that one at number 6.
The cartoon one better.
You've got Home Alone 2 at number 7, Elf at number 8, and The Polar Express at number 9. There are many people that might have flipped this one completely upside down.
Well, they're wrong. They're very wrong. I like my list. I especially like those top 3.
Wow.
Man, I really like animation. Nightmare Before Christmas and Rudolph are are 1 and 2.
You like claymation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I like the Grinch. I like the cartoon Grinch more than I like the Jim Carrey one. Easily. I like the classics, man. I like the classics because I'm an old head.
Chad, I need your help. I need y'all's help.
The Polar Express, I've
Please come
never
after.
seen.
Do not let him get a moment of peace between now and Christmas.
Nah,
just
tell me
saying
I'm right, Chad.
That the animated Dr. Seuss Grinch movie was better than the Jim Carrey live action.
Tell me I'm right. When has the live action ever been better? Ever.
This one.
No.
There you go. All right, what do you got for me?
All right. Here's our goal, okay? I need you to guess these Christmas movies. I need you to guess what Christmas movie I am trying to get you to guess. I can give you a 1-word hint, and the goal is for me to give you as few hints as possible, okay?
Okay.
Would love to give at least one of these movies, if not all 3. I got 3 for you. If we could get all 3 in just 1 hint, 1 guess, that would be fucking awesome. Okay?
Okay.
So, first movie. Here is my... I can only give you 5 total.
5 total clues for all 3 movies?
For all 3...
Or each movie?
For each movie.
Okay.
Hopefully we won't get to that point. I think we're going to be okay. All right, here we go. First Christmas movie. Republican.
Is it National Lampoon's A Christmas Vacation?
It's a fantastic guess, and it is not. Second clue.
Okay.
Suit.
Is it Santa Claus?
It is the Santa Claus.
Santa Claus?
Yes, the Tim Allen Santa Claus.
Yes.
That's not bad. 2 guesses, 2 clues for you to get it. That's pretty damn good. Can we get
my
one?
first
now?
guess was assuming that I was thinking of the viewers, not the participants,
Right.
not the people in the movie.
Fair. Well, even then, I mean, Chevy Chase, isn't he in those?
Yeah, but I don't know.
I would assume.
Where, I mean, he's an old white man, sure. But Tim Allen's like famously.
Right. All right, second movie. Here we go. Come on. Can I do... It's funny because I'm giving you the clues, but I'm not as familiar with any of these movies as you are. But I'm going to try. So my first clue for this second Christmas movie is DJ.
DJ Turner from Full House. I have no idea.
That's okay. I'll give you another one.
Okay.
All right, second clue, damn it, is brother.
Brother. Oh, brother. I'm so stumped, dude. I have no idea.
Okay, still nothing?
Still nothing.
Okay, that's okay. We're getting now. I'm starting to struggle.
I feel like I want to ask all these clarifying questions. Like, is this a classic Christmas movie? Is this a deep cut? Is this just a movie that takes place during Christmas? You know, that
All right, third clue. Now here's the hard part. How do you give clues for Christmas movies when they all involve the same fucking shit?
Very true.
It's very difficult. So I'm trying, man. Here we go. I'm gonna give my third. I'm so sorry. Here's my third clue.
Okay.
Liar. I can't wait to tell you what movie this is.
Now I'm starting to think it's a Jim Carrey movie. Liar, liar. It's not like Last Christmas, right?
Is that your guess?
Sure.
Last Christmas? No, it's not Last Christmas. Okay. Fourth hint. Fourth hint. I'm gonna go very similar. Fourth hint. I'm just gonna because I'm just out of ideas here. So fourth hint. I'm gonna go very similar to my third hint. Okay.
Okay.
In terms of what I'm trying to communicate and how. Fourth hint is wet.
Okay. I wonder if that. What does he mean? Wet Hot American Summer? Is it a Paul Rudd movie? Is Paul Rudd in any Christmas movies that I know of with Jim Carrey? Wet. I mean, I highly doubt this is Frozen because Frozen's not a Christmas movie. It takes place in July. I have no idea. I literally am thinking of every Christmas movie I've ever seen, and none of them are about brothers or a liar, and none of them have a DJ in it. And I don't know if DJ Turner was in anything else after Full House.
All right, I'm going to give you the fifth hint.
Okay.
And I'm really stretching the rules here. It's technically one word. And it's very similar to my past couple of hints.
Okay.
But way more clear now. You ready?
Sure.
Your one word hint for your final hint is dodgeball.
Is this Four Christmases?
Is that your guess?
Yes.
No. It is Fred Claus.
Fred Claus. Oh my fucking God.
Ludacris plays a CGI elf DJ. It is about Fred Claus, Santa Claus's brother.
The liar was the
Big Fat Liar. Paul Giamatti was in Big Fat Liar, who plays
True.
Santa Claus. Wet Hot American Summer. Elizabeth Banks plays the elf assistant.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then Dodgeball. Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Of course.
Yeah.
Fred Claus,
Yeah.
which I've only ever seen because you played it last year.
True. I've already watched that movie this year too. But you know what's hard about that one? I don't own it. So when I start thinking about Christmas movies, it's not one that immediately comes to mind but that's the problem. See, as I got Vince Vaughn, and Vince Vaughn and his brother are like rivals in Four Christmases. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is harder than I thought it would be.
All right, but Cammy, okay, this is it. Our last one. Let's see if we can get it. Are you fucking ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Here's your first hint. Lamp.
A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
One of the worst Christmas movies of all time. Y'all want to come after someone?
Oh.
Let me tell you what it was like growing up as a somewhat chubby blonde hair boy with glasses around Christmas time. Where's your bunny suit? Where you gonna get the bunny suit? You look like the King Christmas Story. You look like King Christmas Story. You gonna shoot your eye out? You gonna shoot your eye out with the Roman Rider? You look like the King from Christmas Story.
You know a Christmas movie we need to rewatch?
And you know what? His mom was fucking right, by the way.
The Night Before.
His mom was right. He does shoot his eye out. That happens. Dumbass dad. What the fuck? Listen to your wife. Listen to women. Cancel A Christmas Story.
Cancel A Christmas Story is canceled, even though it just got a sequel for some reason.
Boo. Boo. Because they don't make movies unless they have an IP, says Vince Vaughn, by the way. In his Hot Ones episode. So the next game that I have, this is this will be a really quick one. This is a King of the Hill style head-to-head traditional Christmas food items.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Christmas time food items.
Wow.
Food and drink items, and you're gonna tell me which one you prefer, and then we'll see who's at the top. And if there's any that you can think of that should have been on the list, feel free to give us a comment and let us know, and we'll revisit it on our next episode.
And send us like other games that we can play, I guess, if you want. Take some
Audio only.
So take some stuff off of our plate. I don't know, just an idea.
Okay, so first head-to-head matchup: hot chocolate or apple cider.
Woo! It's a good matchup. Give me apple cider.
All right, apple cider or gingerbread.
That's also a ooh. Apple cider.
Okay, apple cider or a ginger snap.
Oh, apple cider.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Apple cider or sugar cookie.
Damn, apple cider.
All right, apple cider or candy canes.
That's a good one. Apple cider. I need to play this game when I'm not thirsty.
Apple cider or tamales.
Oh my God, tamales.
Tamales or a honey roasted ham. Honey roasted pineapple ham is what we do for Christmas.
Tamales.
All right, that's all the food items I
Let's
can come
go.
up with.
And that's yay. All right. I hope you guys had fun. We had a blast with our holiday special episode, and we hope that you did too. We got what, 1-2 more for the end of this year? How exciting is it? Another year down of Wild Dream. We're very, very happy to be so close to having another year under our belt. It's kind of crazy how long we've been doing this, but we do it because we love movies, and we do it because we love how awesome you guys are with your kind words and encouragement for us to keep doing the podcast. So please spread the word. Get the word out about this podcast. Remember, we are at Wild Dream Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And we are streaming all the time. Like, seriously, dude, please come join one of our streams. We would love to have you there. So please come say hi. You can do that by reaching out to us either on the stream or after the stream on YouTube. Because we are at Wild Dream Stream on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch, of course. So please get involved in the conversation. What did you think of this episode? What did you think of this movie? What did you think of this year? What did you think of Christmas? What did you think of me putting Elf and Polar Express at the very bottom of my list? I would love to know what you guys think. So please reach out. We want to hear from you. But until next time, we love you. We kiss you. Good night.
Good night.